Hey there! Have you ever had a situation where you go to bed at a decent hour, sleep for 8 hours, wake up, still feeling tired and think, I didn't get my steps in yesterday, even though you were sedentary all day. You didn't do anything particularly strenuous, and you wonder, how come I feel so tired? In this video, we're going to explore why that happens. Hi there! I'm a doctor! I'm an emergency room doctor who treats everything from COVID to gunshot wounds, burns, you name it. This video series is created to help answer some of your medical questions and the questions that are commonly asked by patients. If you find this video helpful, please do me a favor and subscribe. So let us talk about why you might be having a situation where you have a normal amount of sleep, but still feel tired. The first thing I want to rule out is if you actually slept for 8 hours. It's not quite as easy as just going to bed and waking up. If you go to bed at 10 p.m. and wake up at 6 a.m., that's 8 hours of sleep. But what if you spend 2 of those 8 hours kicking and screaming, thrashing around, and your body is still in fight or flight mode? Those aren't good quality sleep hours. In order for you to get a full night's rest, you need 4 distinct stages of sleep. Stage 1, Stage 2, Stage 3, and then REM sleep. Your body cycles through these stages every 90 minutes, and you can complete 4 to 5 cycles a night. Stage 1 is when you're drifting off to sleep, you're easily awakened. Stage 2 is when your heart rate slows down, your breathing becomes more regular, your muscles relax. This is a good part of sleep. Stage 3 is also called deep sleep. This is when your body repairs tissue, synthesizes proteins, restores energy. This is very restorative sleep. This is when growth hormone is released. So if you're an athlete or you're trying to build muscle, you really want to make sure you get good, deep sleep. And then finally, REM sleep, which is rapid eye movement sleep. This is when you start dreaming. And this is very important for brain function. So if you get interrupted sleep or you just not spend enough time in each of these stages, you're not going to feel refreshed. A few things that can interrupt your sleep include having a roommate that keeps you up, having loud noises throughout the night, your pet, your kids, whatever it might be. All of those things can keep you in light sleep and not allow you to progress through the different sleep cycles. The next reason you might not be getting good quality sleep, despite being in bed for 8 hours, is because of medical conditions. There's many different medical conditions that can cause you to have poor sleep quality or prevent you from getting a full night's rest. The most common ones include sleep apnea, restless leg syndrome, and periodic limb movement disorder. With sleep apnea, people will stop breathing multiple times throughout the night. With restless leg syndrome, you have an urge to move your legs, often accompanied with uncomfortable sensations. Periodic limb movement disorder is where you have involuntary kicking of the legs while you're asleep. Other causes of poor sleep can include chronic pain, acid reflux, gastrointestinal problems like irritable bowel disease, anxiety, depression, and post-traumatic stress disorder. Also, allergies and asthma can cause you to not get a restful sleep. Next, you could be taking certain medications that can affect your sleep. Some of these medications include antidepressants, stimulants like Adderall, corticosteroids, and blood pressure medications. And last, caffeine and alcohol can also affect your sleep. Now, I know many of you are thinking, well, I drink a couple cups of coffee a day and I have no problem sleeping. But what you're probably doing is compensating. You're going to bed earlier, you're staying in bed longer, and even if you're not doing that, you might be getting a better quality sleep despite drinking that coffee. But everyone compensates differently. So what can you do if you reach someone who has poor sleep quality, or you've gone to bed early, you've stayed in bed longer, and you're still not getting your sleep in? 1. Start keeping a sleep journal. Keeping track of when you go to bed, how long you stay in bed, and how many interruptions you have can help you identify patterns and pinpoint exactly what might be causing the interruptions. So if you have a roommate, maybe they're coming in late, you can address that. If you're finding you have a lot of interruptions due to having to use the bathroom, maybe that's something else you can address. But keeping a sleep journal can be really helpful. 2. Try and maintain a consistent sleep schedule. Try going to bed at the same time every night and waking up at the same time every morning. Now, I know on the weekends you might want to sleep in, but try to limit that extra sleep to 1 hour max. You don't want to sleep in any longer than that. because it can make it harder to get up the next day and get back on your sleep cycle. Next, make sure your bedroom is dark, quiet, cool, and well ventilated. If you're struggling with sleep apnea, you may need to consider using a CPAP machine. If you're struggling with restless leg syndrome or periodic limb movement disorder, there's a number of medications that can be helpful for that. So definitely work with your primary care doctor to figure out the best treatment plan for you. Next, avoid napping. Now, I know this sounds counterintuitive. If you're tired, you should take a nap, right? But if you take a nap, even a 20-minute nap, it can make it harder to get good quality sleep that night. And especially if you take a nap later in the day, you can throw off your whole sleep cycle. Another thing you can do is exercise regularly, but not too close to bedtime. Exercise can promote better sleep. However, exercising too close to bedtime can stimulate you and make it harder to fall asleep. So try to finish your workout about 2 hours before bedtime. And lastly, limit screen time. The blue light emitted from cell phones and other electronic devices can make it harder to fall asleep. Try reading a book instead. If you're struggling with falling asleep, you can try things like counting sheep, but that doesn't always work. There are also apps that you can download that can play white noise or nature sounds that can be helpful. Lastly, if you're struggling with insomnia or poor sleep quality, you can see a sleep specialist. A sleep specialist can help you with things like a sleep study if appropriate. They can look at your environment and see if there is anything in your environment that might be contributing to poor sleep. They can help you with your sleep hygiene and really work with you to try to optimize your sleep. Alright, hopefully this was helpful. Please do me a favor and subscribe. Also, I want to hear from you. Have you ever had a situation where you slept for a long time but still felt tired? What did you do to improve your sleep? Comment below. I'd love to hear from you. Thanks again for watching. Take care!